If Shion is in trouble, she's like, to the rescue. It's really great.
You need a Cosmos cosplayer, wouldn't you?
I want to cosplay Cosmos. I want my girlfriend to cosplay her. We're gonna do a Mary and Maiden and Mary though at some point, so that's gonna be her person. I'll see if I can get her to do a Cosmos. I don't know if she'll want to do that. She's kind of self-conscious, but I'll ask. She's supposed to follow orders, but she often acts on her own, makes her own decisions. She's a lot more than she seems. Sometimes her eyes turn blue when she does crazy things and like talks differently. That's pretty important. Very important. But I guess the big thing here is that again, something for you new people to keep in mind when we go into it. She's so much more than she appears. She's so much more than like the overly.
More than just hot android.
She's more than just a hot. She's a hot. She is too. She's a hot android, but she's also amazing.
What's your favorite version?
All of them. I could make you pick.
For me, it's the best of both worlds.
I really like 4, but I really like all of them. Don't make me choose.
4 is awesome.
I was going to cosplay 4, but I'm thinking, my friend Anne wants me to do 3, and I might do 3 because no one does that. 3 is pretty great. But I love all of her versions, and I have a figure of every single one.
My favorite version of Cosmos is the kitty version in Xenosaga. She gets cat ears.
This is joke, Alan. It's not even cute. I love that. So, she's actually pretty snarky, really. It's kind of the big thing. So she has a lot of personality and a lot of story to her that I urge you all to pay attention to. Do not forget about Cosmos, her real personality. So. And Mary Magdalene. This game is really gay. Alright, I had to slip this in.
Space lesbian.
Ship anything? What are you talking about? But you want to? I kind of debated on whether I should put the slide in because I'm like, I don't want to feel like I'm like pushing my ship onto any of
Space
you.
lesbians.
But really, regardless of whether you ship it or not, you
already ship it.
yeah, regardless of whether you ship it or not, you can't deny that there is supposed to be feelings there.
Intimate relationship.
Yes.
Is the top left picture from episode 3?
Yes.
That's her swimsuit outfit.
Yeah. It looks better with the swimsuit. That thing looks great anyway, though. The crotch hug. All hail the crotch hug. But I think that it's something that it really is canon. I mean, like, you don't have to ship it, what I'm saying, because there are a lot of canon ships in Xenosaga, really. But, like, they have more for them than Junior Momo, and most people consider that canon. That's kind of what I'm getting at. So you don't have to ship it, but it's definitely supposed to be there. That, like, romantically toned, intimate relationship is definitely supposed to be a thing. Especially in episode 3, there is a scene that people often forget about because it's when Alan is confessing, and that's kind of a big thing for Alan. I'm very proud of Alan, but what's most awesome is she says that she has the same feelings as Alan towards Shion. So, guys, yeah, they both love her a lot. So, yeah, they can all get together and threesome. I don't know if it's like that much.
Oh God! Bring back horrible dojinshi.
Get out, children!
Bring back horrible dojinshi in my mind.
I'm sorry. I don't actually do
There's
that.
a few, actually, man. There's a few.
Oh yeah, it's URTV week, guys. 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". So draw your pictures and stuff.
Draw your area for the time.
So here's our 666, our junior. Basically the secondary protagonist. Shion's BFF, essentially. And yeah, his role isn't quite as large as like Shion's, but a good half of the second game focuses on his plot, and he's probably like right behind Shion and Cosmos in terms of importance. Not actually 12. He looks like he's 12, and he acts like he's 12, but he's not 12. Some things happened. He halted his own growth. He's a child bioweapon called a URTV.
Yeah, they're all clones of me, Dimitri Yuriev.
That asshole over there. And his plot basically centers around his relationship with his siblings, the other URTVs, the variants. They are meant to combat an entity called Udu, which is very complicated and essentially
very terrifying.
Yeah,
essentially, actually, yes, it is very terrifying.
Yes, it is.
It's gonna faint.
That's like, oh my God.
Are we gonna talk about that?
Scary.
Oh.
That's how a Nephilim is terrifying.
Well, Nephilim's the only one who isn't afraid of him. So,
I mean, yeah, you gotta get ahead sometimes.
Junior's 666 of the 660 symbolism. Has a number on his hand, and his true name's Rubido. Red hair. There's a whole, it's that alchemy thing, and it's also a psychology thing. So he's our gun-toting space cowboy, sorta. He works at the Kukai Foundation with Guinan, who Guinan's so important. But he basically joins up maybe a third of the way through episode 1. He's collecting the Zohar and Zohar emulators, and kind of gets involved with that. So he's kind of like half in the political sphere in that sense. Yes, a 12-year-old.
The politics, though.
A 12-year-old. Yeah, Guinan does all politics and Junior
shoots stuff.
Junior shoots stuff. Junior shoots everything, and he has a very, very tragic backstory, like everyone. All right.
It's all my fault.
The biggest badass in the game.
Oh, really?
No, I'm not even
The
kidding.
cute girl is...
Again, episode, as I mentioned earlier, episode 3, just spam. Like,
She can learn an attack in episode 3, which is actually Ziggy's attack, which we'll get to Ziggy soon. That she just walks up and punches the enemy. She just socks them.
And it's even more powerful than Ziggy's.
Yes. This little girl will kick your ass.
At the beginning of episode 2, where she's weirdly more powerful
Yeah,
than
she's
everyone
like-
else.
Well, actually, I liked her episode 2 voice actor more than I did her episode 1 because
I think it was a little better too, although it's kind of like really muffled in the battle. It's like muffled Mr. Power's resistance. Mr. Power's grant me a miracle.
that was like the only voice actor I liked from episode 2.
Episode 2's voice acting was kind of a adventure.
Briefly, and
Keith Sarah does a great job.
It was amazing.
And Kristen Freeman always does a good job.
Crispin Freeman is awesome.
Yes, I got to meet him at Acen. I got my Xenosaga signed. I was dressed up as Guinan too. It was really great, and he remembered the character too. I was like, because everyone knows him from Romeo. I'm like, I really liked your work as Guinan. He's like, I had no idea. It was really great. So, but back to Momo. Oh yes, I will go on about Guinan. Just you wait. Guinan's my other big Xeno cosplay. So, she is really cute and sweet, and she just wants to help everyone. But she's a Realian, and she has to kind of cope with a lot of that. And she also has something called the Y data that was stored in her, and everybody kind of wants that. So she kind of gets chased around a lot and goes through a lot of crap. But she's such a tough little girl, and like manages to stay strong through all of it. And her family's kind of a mess too, because Joachim is Rahi. He's known as a madman, the man who created her. So she like really wants to believe in him because she has like kind of distant memories of when he was creating her. And she's like, no, my daddy's a good person. And then her mother is kind of cold and distant because she is made to look like their dad's daughter, Sakura. So Yuli is like, oh, that's awkward. But they actually really come together in the end. There's a lot of character development and sweetness. So you have this cute little girl who's really helpful and sweet and adorable, and she whips out your bow and blows your head off.
Give a bunny beam in the first
That's
game.
it.
Bunny beam.
Oh yes, she has her little rod and magical girl transformations in episode 1. It's really cute.
I did not like that.
Yeah, the only thing I say is the problem is that everyone didn't have magical girl transformation.
No!
Actually, she's voiced by a voice actor from Tenchi Muyo.
I don't know that, but
Oh, she
okay. I don't know what she's
Oh god, it makes
She was
sense.
also Tachikoma too in
Oh.
All right,
God.
Ziggy, here's the one that she learned swordfish from.
Yeah.
This is our Ziggy sometimes.
I don't look like it.
Not today. She can be manly when she
I was
wants
going
to.
to cosplay the human version of him this weekend, but it didn't really work out.
Yeah, and I was gonna be police, but it kind of all exploded
I
in
wanted to do a
our
laugh
faces.
at some point.
But he is a police officer who committed suicide 100 years ago and was brought back to life by an illegal act that turns people into cyborgs and
Space RoboCop.
Space RoboCop. Basically,
I never thought of it like that.
he's tormented by memories of his past. He wants to become a robot, like kind of the reverse of Momo. Momo wants to be a real girl, and he wants to be a robot, so he doesn't have to deal with like his human past. Because he's like,
I always loved that dichotomy.
Pinocchio.
yes, in a way. Although they kind of that's not really the biggest focus of her story. It's mostly in episode 1. She kind of grows through it, especially at the end of episode 2. Everybody grows a lot, so.
Exactly, it's technically my fault.
Yes, that is your fault. His real name's Xenosaga. And after he rescues Momo, he takes on sort of a fatherly role towards her. And he starts to, change his mind about life and becoming a robot. And Pied Piper, the cell phone game I mentioned earlier, is about his life 100 years ago. And he has a connection to the Black Cloaked Man. Do you want to say anything, Bobbi? Because Ziggy's your jam.
Basically, he's probably my favorite character. He's just very, very complex, very, very deep. But at first, when I first started playing, he wasn't really kind of my favorite. I really liked Xian and Momo. They were my favorite. But then when I got through episode 2, it's just oh my gosh. And then by 3, I was yeah, he's my favorite.
Yeah, he very much seems like the standard stoic big guy at first, but he's a dork.
And he's a big dork.
He's the biggest dork.
He's this big manly guy, and he's supposed to be but when it comes to children, girls, he's just really I'm sorry.
Cutting Pied Piper. I couldn't believe they did that.
It's not, you don't really see it in the game, but if you read through the Pied Piper translation, you'll see that side of him where he's trying to talk to Sharon, who he has the hots for. And he doesn't really know how to say it, so he's just kind of
And Sharon's you're weird. But she loves him.
He's a big stinking dork, and you can see it in some of his interactions with Yuli. Later on, he's kind of really shy around ladies working on him. He's just kind of oh no.
Yeah. He's great. Oh, Dick Great. We're not going to talk about the Dick Great. Don't think about it, friends.
Now you mentioned it.
And now I mentioned it, so now it's all burned into your mind. But yeah, his wife Sharon and his kid Joaquin died, unfortunately, and then he committed suicide. And you can hear that whole story in Pied Piper. And
Oh God!
the Mankini. Actual thing. This is an actual thing. This is supposed to be in episode 3.
Once I get a little bit more fit, I'm totally going to do a female version of that. I'm going to do it. It's going to be amazing.
Beautiful. Just gonna let that image soak into your eyes for a bit. Look at those flippers. Look at that. Look at those chiseled ass.
I once edited the Zicky's Wikipedia page. It included a huge paragraph with pictures of that.
She's been in the fandom forever, and
I've been around in the fandom since the beginning and watched it kind of grow and kind of fade out.
And we're trying to bring it back. That's why we're here. We're reigniting the spark. With great power comes great booty shorts.
It's Jesus.
It's Jesus.
Can't say much about it.
Can't really say much about Chaos. I know
Things
everyone
revealed
loves
about
Chaos.
him in the last hour of
I'm
episode
really
3.
sorry for all the new people, but he's a friendly dude. He's just kind of wandering around, just hey guys. He's mostly with the crew of the Elsa, which is kind of your home base ship for the game. Cosmos is he recognizes her. He knows something about Cosmos. Spoilers. He basically is kind of pretty enigmatic for most of it, and kind of knows things, but kind of is kind of about saying things. He's trying to sort of stay out of the main spotlight until the end of episode 2, and that's why most of his significance isn't revealed till late game, and therefore I can't say much about him. But he's a cool dude. He wears booty shorts and spandex and garters, and I don't know what he's wearing.
And he made friends with Jin too.
Yes. He was actually involved in the Milton conflict too. Him and Kanan. They piloted one of the ES into the Milton conflict to try and get survivors of the URTDs and try and help out. They met Jean at that point. And one more thing about Chaos is basically what you need to know. He's Space Jesus. That's actual footage of the game. That's basically all you need to know about Chaos. He's Space Jesus. Alright, there's Jean. It's Jean. My no good older brother. He's mentioned in episode 1 and has a brief appearance, but he's not a team member. It's totally different. Yeah, it's actually Crispin Freeman. I know. He's not a team member until episode 2. He's my older brother. He's no good. He does nothing. He sits around and reads books all day and changes his job all the time. And he doesn't know how to comfort sad people. He just hits them. Anyway, he's basically Shitanizuki from Xenogears. He's a walking shout-out, basically. It's very similar. I said to the last Acen, my friend Kat, she's Catamus on the internet, and she's a big Xeno member. She once referred to him as one of the Shitan Uzuki's stoner brother. That's basically Gene. He's kind of flighty and kind of self-righteous, very interested in maintaining ancient traditions. He's a weeb. He's a weeb, and the game calls him out on it. It's great. He's this intense swordsman, very I don't know. My sword. His sword. Him and Margulis have they have battles with their extra long swords.
Let's also not talk about his swimsuit either.
Oh yeah,
Was it too swimsuit?
Fundoshi. We're not gonna talk about the Fundoshi. Oh my God, is Obama attending our panel? Oh my God. Thank you, President. I'm so glad you like Xenosaga.
Complete with Secret Service agents.
Complete with Secret Service agents. Hey guys! Whatever. We're a fun panel. She and him suffered a feud though. No good older brother. No good. They actually do care about each other, but they both just don't know how to communicate it. They both act in very, very different ways, and it's hard for them to mesh, I guess. Yeah. Something I want to point out about Gene is that remember that he's not perfect either. A lot of people in the fandom seem to make him out to be a sweeter guy than he is. He's
A Gary Stew.
yeah, kind of like that. He's not like that. He's not actually that great of a guy, but he gets character development too. You realize he gets character development for spoilers, plug ears. If you don't want to hear spoilers, plug ears. If you don't want to hear spoilers, plug ears. If you don't want to hear spoilers, he dies.
That was an awesome fight.
It was. That's the playable characters though. There's no team, posing all like Tales of Symphonia or whatever. And
You just see Tales of Symphonia?
yeah, they're you know, at the end of a fight where they all go, and they're it's like that. That's what I think of when I see that. My girlfriend liked that I gave that shout out in the A7 panel, so I'm doing it again.
I love Tales of Symphonia.
It's a good game. Oh, there's my girlfriend. She texted me right there, right on the spot. Yeah.
She knows.
Let me tell you about my personal life.
Morning members.
Starting with Guiding Kukai. Make that a meme, guys. We're spreading it. Starting with Guiding Kukai. Last time at Acen, I was dressed up as Guinan, and I got to this panel, and I just almost started crying.
She's not my dear son anymore though.